Alright, so the short answer is yes, it is worth adapting lenses to the Hasselblad X2D. But let's dive into the nitty-gritty, because there are some situations where it's just gorgeous, others where it can be a bit cumbersome, and others where it's just simply not possible. The real question is, are you the type of photographer who often finds yourself in these tricky situations, and how much patience do you have to deal with them? First, let's tackle movement. Because the Hasselblad X2D doesn't have a mechanical shutter, you're dealing with the rolling shutter effect from the electronic shutter. I'll show you some examples, but Google it for more detail. The usual answer is a little bit misleading. You see, here's the deal. If your subject is moving fast, forget it. If it's slight or moving towards the camera, sometimes it can work, but it's not just about the speed of your subject, but the distance it travels across the sensor. Does that make sense? Look at this photo taken with my Zeiss 120mm f4 lens for the Hasselblad V mount. That plane is traveling between 250 and 300 kilometers an hour, but it's not warped. Or this photo taken with my Zeiss 80mm f2.8. This group of folks are strolling along, and again, they're not warped. That's because the distance covered across the sensor was minimal. However, here with this train moving at just 20 kilometers an hour, the door travels across the whole sensor, and you can see it warp clearly. So keep this in mind with moving subjects and the electronic shutter. In real world terms, when I've photographed my wife or models and instructed them to remain still, it's negligible enough to not notice, but there's always that nagging thought that I might have missed a shot. Kids or dogs, I don't know, but trying to get a perfect shot of a kid running around or a dog playing fetch, probably not going to happen consistently. So in these scenarios, you're better off sticking to Hasselblad's native XCD lenses. Next, let's talk about when you're the one moving the sensor. Workaround 1. The 7-stop in-body image stabilization is very solid. I can't measure 7 stops, but I can tell you it makes a huge difference. Enough of a difference that I'm shooting with a 120mm lens handheld using the electronic shutter at 16-bit. That's a slow sensor readout. That's about 1/3 of a second. Workaround 2 is to reduce the image quality from 16-bit to 14-bit. This gives you a faster readout, but you're going to lose some color depth. You're going from 281 trillion colors to just 4 trillion. It's a big drop. But there are times when you're going to have to make these compromises. Using a tripod, especially with IBIS, stabilizes your shot beautifully, though you lose the small, compact, handheld appeal of the camera. So you're trading portability for stability. Alright, let's talk about lighting. What about if you're shooting in natural light? No problem at all. The X2D and whatever adapted lens you have on it are going to handle it without any issues. If you've got some fluorescent or LED lighting, especially low quality LEDs, there's going to be a chance that you're going to introduce banding. Here's an example where I didn't notice it in the EVF, but in Lightroom it was very noticeable. I fixed it for a low-res Instagram post by adding grain, which is doable, but it's just, better to avoid. Here's some notes on adapting lenses. Hasselblad V adapter. It's great for attaching your V lenses, but it is a dumb adapter. There's no EXIF information which is passed, and it doesn't trigger the shutter aperture in your V lenses, and that is a real shame. As a Leica shooter, I use adapters to convert Leica R, Minolta, and Nikon to Leica M mount. I bought the M to X adapter and adapt all other lenses to the M. This way I can use my Leica glass on the X2D without too much hassle. This way I can turn all of my other glasses into Leica glass and then attach to the M to X2D mount adapter thingy right over here. The Leica glass itself, it looks great on the Hasselblad X2D, but its image circle doesn't cover the full medium format sensor. Also, with the double adapter approach, I lose an additional stop of light, but it's negligible. Third-party lenses. To my knowledge, the only third-party lenses you can attach without an adapter are the Mitakon Zhongi Speedmaster 65mm 1.4 lens, which I've owned for the Fuji GFX and is a great one, the Mitakon Zhongi 200mm f4 macro lens, the Astra Hori 75mm f4, and the TT Artisan 90mm f1 to 1.25. I don't know of any other lenses that you can attach without an adapter. Alright, so my final thoughts on adapting lenses to the X2D. I owned the Fujifilm GFX 50R for about 4 years, and according to Lightroom, I shot over 15,000 photos, and a little over 2/3 of those were on non-native glass. Out of 5,200 photos on my Hasselblad X2D, I've shot about 1,400 on non-native glass, including a lot of testing to see which lenses work and which don't. So roughly 25% of my photos are on adapted lenses. For a shooter like me, the X2D is very much built around its native lenses. Of course, I will shoot my Leica 75mm 1.4 on it, but I would also consider getting the native Hasselblad XCD 80mm 1.9. So if you're considering adapting third-party lenses to your Hasselblad X2D, weigh in these factors. It's doable and can be worth it, but you need to know the limitations and workarounds. This way, you'll know when it'll work seamlessly and when you're gonna have to put in a bit more effort to get the shot you want. Double heart bump right at you.